Hey guys, all right. So a few weeks ago, if you can recall, we talked through a practice TRF. And so the first one that we did, remember TRF stands for Tutorial Request Form. So the one that we did a few weeks ago, you looked at some logic puzzles and you had to choose one and fill out a TRF for it. This week, we are really going to get into the nitty gritty because you are going to be creating a TRF based on something that you are struggling with in one of your classes. So I want to be clear that when you think about what class and what problem or equation or assignment or whatever you are working on, which one you are going to choose for the TRF, it needs to be something that you know a little bit about and that you understand a little bit about, but that you are getting stuck in some place. So this should not be something that you completely 100% do not understand at all. On the opposite end, it should not be something that you already know the answer to. The point of a TRF would typically be to prepare for an actual tutorial in which you would present this TRF to your classmates, and they would help you through and help you to resolve the issue and figure out how to kind of get over that point where you're getting stuck. So for now, you just need to fill out your name, your Avid teacher. You don't need to worry about the tutor right now because we do not have tutors, the date, and the subject that you're going to be working with. So if this is from English class, you'll write English. If it's from social studies, blah, blah, blah. Okay, things to note. You do not need to do anything with these check marks. This would typically be for me or the tutor to fill out, so don't worry about that. Your topic or essential question, this is going to be the broad thing that you are working on in class. So let's say you are learning about the distributive property in math class. You might say something like, how does the distributive property work in equations? I don't even know if that makes sense, but I'm trying here. So the big picture idea that you're working on in class. Your initial question is going to be the actual problem you are trying to solve. So it's going to be more specific than this topic or essential question. Your source might be your textbook in math. It might be a certain lesson in English. It might be an article you read in social studies, etc. So where is this coming from? Your key academic vocabulary, this is going to be things that maybe a person not taking this class wouldn't be familiar with. Does that make sense? A person not taking this class, would not be familiar with this. So, for example, if you're working with the distributive property, define it right here because I don't know what that is. So your peers might not know either if they're not taking the same course. If you're doing something with like an English essay and you are struggling with your thesis statement, you might want to tell us what a thesis statement is here, et cetera, et cetera. So try and get two, but if there's only one, at least get one. These are the things you already know, so maybe you have some background that isn't explained in this initial question. Or maybe you're just going to kind of pick apart this initial question. Maybe your initial question is kind of lengthy, and so down here in what you know about your question already, you're going to kind of reiterate what is up here so that you can put it in your own terms that are easier for you to understand and that would hypothetically be easier for your peers to understand, okay? So this first page, guys, is all stuff that you've already received. You already know the question. You already know what the vocab is. You already know these things about the question, the more detailed stuff. The next page is where you're going to have to really put on your thinking caps. So again, don't worry about this. And don't worry about this number one. That's for me or the tutor in a typical situation. Here is where I want you to show us what you have done so far. So this is where that you know a little bit about your subject or your question. This is where that comes into play. If you've tried a few solutions or if you're working in math and you know how to do like the first 3 steps, show us here. If you are writing an essay and you know how to write the first 2 sentences, but you're getting stuck with the background information, or you're getting stuck with the citing your evidence, whatever it is. Show us what you do have. Show us what you do know. And then down here, you are going to explain where you are getting stuck and why you are getting stuck. So this is going to be different from just the question. This isn't the question. This is where you are getting stuck. And this is the question that you are going to ask your peers to help you with getting over your point of confusion and not being confused anymore. So remember that the TRFs we are doing right now are just TRFs. So unfortunately, we're not going to be working through these right now. In a typical setting, you would then present your TRF to your group, and they would help you with your question and with your point of confusion. But right now, we're just going to get really, really, really good at the TRFs so that whenever we are able to do tutorials, we have these down like the back of our hand. As always, let me know if you have questions. Good luck and have fun.